So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video will be yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're gonna be talking about Instagram fitness influencer and athlete baby mama Brittany Renner flashing her Charcoochie board during a podcast interview. Yes, I know the title is funny. It's intentional because I'm trying to like offset YouTube always flagging my videos. They always say it's either the title or the thumbnail. So I'll probably make a joke out of a lot of my titles moving forward if it makes sense. So Brittany Renner is a pretty polarizing figure in the world of social media. She has risen to fame over the years for essentially being this pretty fitness guru with a killer body, great abs, nice butt, and that's just really how she got her come up. She played soccer for Jackson State University, and I believe it was there that she became really involved in fitness and made it her brand. I used to see her pictures on Tumblr and old school Twitter. I never knew it was her or who she was, but I do remember seeing her pictures and it being deemed as fitness goals, like especially this photo. I definitely saw this photo on Tumblr and on Twitter back in the day. Now, in more recent times, Brittany has become this, once again, polarizing figure, as she is infamously known for dating professional athletes, rappers, and having a baby by an NBA player named PJ Washington. And the biggest drawback from the public was that Brittany was 26 when she got with him and he was 20. So essentially, he was a college student and she was college graduate age. And that's funny because I'm 26 now and I don't think I could date a 20-year-old boy. I feel like the youngest I can go is like 3 or 4 years younger than me, but that's still like not my speed, but just saying. I don't necessarily think it's wrong that people have age gaps in their relationships, but I do have to question it because in a lot of cases, there's always some type of weird approach to it. And I think that's why she was called out. I don't think anyone would have cared that she was dating somebody 6 years younger than her if the situation wasn't as messy. But it looked like Brittany essentially intentionally got with him for, at that time, his pending NBA career. And it seems like PJ got with her for, at the time, her social media clout and overall desirability. So once they got together, they were dating for a few years, she got pregnant, and shortly after the baby was born, they broke up due to what Brittany says was infidelity on PJ's end. People basically have come for Brittany saying that she's been pretty extra in her efforts to get with a professional athlete, and specifically an NBA player who are some of the highest paid athletes. Just a side note, so essentially, how do these girls even meet these athletes? Because I feel like all of the professional athletes that I either know from college, or maybe they're related to somebody I'm related to, or because I worked in college sports a few years ago when I was in school, sometimes you just meet different people. But please, someone explain to me how some of these girls are able to like just go from one to the other in such a rampant way. Is it social media? Is there hubs? I just want to know because I will never understand how easy this is for some girls, so more power to y'all. Anyway, once the couple broke up, Brittany became a lot more relevant. People obviously were not here for what seemed to be a disregard of age, which prompted people to believe she was trying to garner some financial benefit. And I'll be real, I'm not too fond of like the extreme slut culture, but I will never ever be mad at a woman who intentionally gets with men that are higher earning men. Like, how could I ever be mad at that? I would encourage every girl to approach dating with finances as one of the major variables you look at, but there's just a way to do it, and I think that's why Brittany Renner has been problematic to some people. The way how she's spoken about athletes and how dumb they are, and how she wrote a book. I remember she talked about how they don't use protection, especially NBA players, and that they make so much money and it's easy to come up off an athlete. It just seems like everything leading up to this relationship was not genuine on her behalf. But what do we know? Now, transitioning into the topic at hand, I feel like after this relationship came and went, her notoriety skyrocketed, and I'm now seeing that it looks like a cry for help. Recently, Brittany was on a podcast show with Charleston, and not only did she basically raise up her leg to do a heel stretch, exposing her Charcoochie, but she was also acting very belligerent by throwing water on the host, as well as going off on some of the production. Let's take a look.
This Brittany Renner off of. Yo, she off a pill or something. Yo, ma'am. Yo.
How does that make you feel as a woman knowing that's your baby father? What is your first view on it?
Honestly, I want my child's father to win.
Exactly.
It's just what it is. And regardless of what people say, I believe he deserves whatever he feels he's worthy of. So, whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. You know, I had a second-degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I'm gonna say,
Hello?
say no. I'm gonna say no for all of us.
Is everybody listening?
Say no.
Hello?
Yeah, your
A second degree tear? You know what that
think
looks
we
like?
do.
Does that matter to you? Who had such a motherfucking opinion around me?
Wait,
Does that
time out.
matter?
It's group.
Hold
My
on.
opinion changed, but
Hold
yeah,
on. Answer the motherfucking question.
no. No, it didn't initially. No, hell no.
Okay, I had a second degree tear. That means they sewed me up.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You know what that means? That means I love that mother. My was fucking split open for him.
Right.
You understand that? You lost 9 pounds. Had a second degree tear. Do you know what that means?
You just taught us.
ripped.
What is it?
Ripped.
Thank you, Charleston.
Ripped open.
Ripped.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, boy had a head like his daddy.
Ma'am.
Yeah, boy had a head like his daddy.
Chips Ahoy.
All these people in the chat can't seem to understand. They think I can be bought. They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I believe in true love.
Hello.
I heard her say that, but you
I
know
said
we
it
be thinking-
100 times.
Hey, listen,
Hello?
hey, listen, now listen.
Listen to what I say. Shut the fuck up when a real is talking.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Get
Shut
the
the
room.
fuck up.
Take the room.
Here we
Shut
go.
up. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, ma'am. Here we go.
Because I'm a real. You hear what I'm saying?
Talk.
And I care. And I'm a hopeful romantic. He's sitting over there, motherfucking. Shut the fuck up.
Oh shit.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking.
That's peripherals.
Shut up.
That's peripheral.
Seriously, shut the fuck up when I'm talking. Because if you ever felt real love to where you have a motherfucking second degree tear, hello?
Wait. He didn't mean it.
Hello?
He didn't mean it.
Shit.
Hello? You don't know what it's like.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. I meant to hit this.
Wrong guy.
Let me tell you
Wrong guy,
something.
champ. Wrong guy.
Shut the fuck up. This right here is about to go. Let me tell you something.
We good.
Shut up
We good,
when
we
I'm
good.
talking.
No, seriously, yo, come on. For
Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit that. Because you sitting over here laughing.
Chill. Relax.
I ain't chilling.
Relax.
Because at the end of the day, it ain't your. Hey, listen. I hear you.
Nah, that ain't cool, lady. For real, I'm not part of this.
Hey, listen. That's fine. But guess what? You protecting him is what it is. Is it not?
I'm not protecting
Is it not? Is it not?
She hit the wrong nigga,
Hey,
champ.
don't be sitting over there laughing.
I'm not here to protect
Let me tell you, I ain't talking to you. I ain't talking to him right here.
You, yo, you disrespect
I ain't talking
me.
about.
You bottle of water.
Then bat me in my then.
Champ, she cool.
Apologies,
Champ,
champ. My shit.
Champ,
Apologies, champ.
Bat me in my shit.
I don't hit women, yo.
That all right? Then
Share
shut
the things right here. Trip it out. We're good. We're good.
Apologies, champ.
At the end of the day,
lady, for real.
all right, I don't give a fuck you talking about lady. I don't care. At the end of the day, nobody knows what I went through. Nobody knows what I'm going through. So nobody, you, him, whoever the you don't get to sit here and talk about shit.
This drunk bitch is playing herself.
Ain't nobody drunk about nothing.
We family
What's
here.
up?
We family here.
What's up?
We family here.
What's up?
We
champ.
family.
Nah,
I ain't talking about nothing.
We alright, champ.
We ain't talking about nothing.
We family.
This is Charleston's people, not mine.
She alright,
It's
champ.
Charleston's
She alright,
people.
champ.
No, we family. We
He
family.
say you alright.
I ain't no f***ing security, bitch.
I don't give a f- what you talking
Come on,
about.
champ.
Bat me in my shit then.
It's all good.
Bat me in my shit then.
Come on.
Then shut the fuck up.
Me a bottle of water.
Chill.
Yeah, but
Let's
hit your
relax.
motherfucking buzzer, bitch.
All right, let's reset the room. Let's reset the room.
It is what
guys.
it is.
Let's reset the room.
It
guys.
is what it is.
Everybody cool, guys. Everybody cool.
It is what it is. What we
Shout out
doing,
to everybody.
Charleston?
I'm reading
Shout
all
out
that shit on that shit. I done got into the shit. I
In
done
these
got
minutes, times, function. Shut up.
into
Miss Ma'am.
No.
No,
Miss
come on,
Ma'am.
please. Come on, man, please.
No.
Come on,
I
man,
need you
please.
to. I need you to be kind and respectful to my guest. Where that pig poker at, man? Go ahead. Go ahead and get the pig poker out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I did nothing for that. Oh, that's wait a minute. Miss Renner.
All right, chill. There's a lot of equipment in here.
Why'd you get water poured on you?
We
What
sauced
happened?
up
What I miss?
for behaving. That's for to be
All right.
So to me, it seems like she's been scrambling to maintain that essence of personal prestige or public regard that she once had. Brittany Renner was a commodity to, I guess, industry men at one point, and I feel like because her reputation has kind of been tarnished in different ways, I just see the girl completely spiraling. So I wanted to talk about this because I find it to be very ironic and also contrary to the energy that Brittany Renner was giving us months ago, and give my thoughts on this evolution of Brittany Renner. So I've broken this video down into 3 main talking points. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my first point is Brittany Renner is spiraling. I don't know why and how, I can guess, but it seems to me that she's been grasping for air and slipping through the cracks of stability for a while. Whether that's mentally or professionally, I can see through Brittany Renner. I've watched enough documentaries and tell-all shows of women who were prominent at one point in their lives/career, who come out 5, 10, 15, 20 years later to talk about how they got caught up in the limelight, caught up in the accessibility, caught up in the attention, and in some cases, caught up in substances and so forth. And I predict that Brittany Renner will be doing something similar to that in the future because her rise to fame was a little different than those in her industry. And what I mean by industry is I feel like we don't really know that many athlete girlfriends or wives that are super popular in this way. Of course, you're gonna know LeBron James and his wife is Savannah James, or Stephen Curry and his wife is Aisha Curry, or Russell Wilson's wife, which is Ciara, but those are like the A-list top people of their sports. But when it comes to just the middle ground or the social media world, I can't just list off 10 different athlete baby mamas because they're usually pretty ducked off and quiet. Brittany Renner is one of a kind where she's been able to kind of commercialize her association to men in the industry and kind of make herself known for doing just that. Now, Brittany Renner is not the first girl to be known by a lot of men in the industry, and she won't be the last. And because I keep getting told I'm too harsh, I'm trying to use specific words to not call her what it is, so read in between the lines for y'all soft pillberry doughboy asses. Damn, y'all be crying in the comments. But anyway, she's not the first to be known, but she is one of the more popular figures to make her name for herself off of it. And I feel like her era is kind of transitioning, and that's why I see the spiral. When I watched that clip of her at the podcast show, I don't feel like she's all the way there. Everything is about attention for Brittany, and I think that's what she thrives off of, so she'll do anything for it. Even though, yes, she sold us this story about how she's resentful for her past ways and how she thinks her body count number is repulsive and how she mentally beats herself up for all of the things that she's done, and she said this publicly in regards to her association with certain men, I still see that this woman is still on the journey to healing, or at least accepting her reality. And I will be real, it does suck to think back in retrospect at your mistakes and have to accept and own some of your choices. I actually was feeling a little bit down the other day because I thought back to college and some of the choices that I made in regards to guys, whether it was just talking to them, dating them, texting them, and how that narrative played out in my head didn't put a smile on my face. And I think for a lot of women, if you're used to getting complimented, or you're used to some type of attention, you're used to being sought after by men, a lot of those ladies actually easily fall for the traps of not having boundaries, not healing yourself in between situations, and having bad intentions when you approach things. I know some people comment saying that y'all don't like when I talk about myself in my videos, but I feel like talking about situations, especially for my younger viewers, shows how relatable I can be at certain topics, because there's a lot of things that I talk about that I've either done or been through a similar situation. And I don't want to tell too much of my business, but I feel like when I worked in college sports, I was around a lot of athletes, like I said earlier. I even dated one. So that hub of attention that kind of comes from the atmosphere where you're one of very few women, I can resonate with that. But acting on the attention that you receive and not knowing how to decipher how to go about it puts a lot of women in a bad place, because women are going to get labeled way worse for doing the same exact things men do, because men have this excuse that they can do things because they have a dick and balls. Have you ever asked a man, why are y'all allowed to sexualize women but be upset when a woman sexualizes herself? They'll literally tell you it's because they're a man. They don't have any logical reasoning because they know it's not logical to be that hypocritical. But that's by the way. So I feel like with Brittany, she had pretty much a decade of male attention from men who honestly probably didn't even deserve her. You can say she's a hoe. She knows she's a hoe. We all know she's been a hoe. She's admitted it. But guys will still talk to her and clearly still cuff her, getting into a relationship with her and have a baby with her. However, on Brittany's end, I feel that because her energies have been mixed with a lot of different individuals, it's starting to weigh on her, and her actions are so unstable that this podcast show is what we get. Now, that's the scientifical theoretical opinion towards what I saw. The only other thing I could say is maybe she was just clout chasing and she wanted to do something for attention, and she was strategic with being able to trend for this, but at the same time, I still viewed it as spiraling, because at what point do you give up having to do things for shock value, having to try to keep your name on the blogs, having to disregard the fact that you are a 31-year-old mother to a 2-year-old boy who will be able to see this in the future? I honestly don't think Brittany knows, and that's why I feel like she's spiraling, and it was really uncomfortable to watch her in the podcast interview, assuming that there are deeper issues as to why she acted like that. Now, my second point is turning her life around was a facade. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Brittany basically went on a tour of trying to get people to, if we're being real, feel bad for her. Like, it definitely was this woe is me tour, and I remember doing at least 2 videos kind of covering her around that time, and I said that not only will I only believe it when I see it, but I said that a lot of the damage has already been done, and that Brittany Renner should be a cautionary tale as to how this lifestyle can contribute to somebody's mental health. And the amount of women that were telling me that I need to have grace for her, and I'm so harsh for saying what it is, which is being a hoe didn't work out how she expected. I was told that I was wrong, but here we are, maybe 6 months later or something around that, and she's spreading it wide eagle in front of a group of men on a podcast show for millions to view. So I want an apology. Like, y'all need to say sorry to me. Like, damn. But I'm just kidding. But I just feel like some people don't use their true discernment to see things for what it is, and then they get mad at the messenger when the message is super clear. Once you deep fry yourself in the hoe aesthetic, it's very hard to shake it, no matter what you do. And that's why it's just a slippery slope with portraying yourself a certain way, because your reputation will be altered, and your primary way of garnering attention will also be kind of distinct. And I believe that's what I try to warn women on when it comes to this. But do whatever the hell y'all want. Pop your poom poom for a real player, I don't care. But consider the after effects when it's all said and done, because there's so many examples of showing that time and time again, these women are not happy. I truly don't think Brittany Renner is happy, and it's actually upsetting to me because I do like her personality. I like her intelligence. I like the way how she speaks. I've listened to podcasts that she's been on, and I really kind of felt bad for saying certain things in the past because I do like her approach to stuff. But I think the inconsistency in what she puts out there is why I can't be in full support. Between her and Black China, it's just been really interesting to see the facade fall apart, because why did y'all tell the whole world that you turned over a new leaf when you didn't? Like, the apple nor the leaf could have fallen that far from the tree, because it seems like both of them are still doing the same stuff they've been doing. And I'll be honest, it is a journey. I don't expect them to remain on the same path. I do expect mess ups. I do expect relapsing. I do expect a little hardship, because that is the reality of changing yourself as a person. But I feel like their examples were so public and so extreme that it's hard for me to have sympathy for the way how they've been doing their change, because publicly it's so contrary to what they were talking about months ago. So my last point is ageism pressures. So I wanted to touch on potential ageism pressures that I think is also present with Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is 31 years old. She has a 2-year-old son, and her wave of being the it girl, the Instagram model, I'm not going to say it's ending, because I think she's actually more prominent now than she was years ago, but we're in an era that is ushering in girls like her much more rapidly than 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I was 16 in high school, and when I would get on Tumblr or Twitter, there was a small population of girls on social media. So you had the India Westbrooks, you had the Kylie Jenners. Those were like the biggest names at the time. And like I said earlier, I would see a lot of Brittany Renner's pictures on Tumblr. So it was a smaller population of what was known. But now fast forward 10 years later, and there are so many Instagram girls with the same aesthetic, the same body, the same look. I genuinely can't keep up with them. Like, I don't even follow Instagram models. There's like a few that I like, but when I get on my explore page, it's like there's pretty girls everywhere. And I feel like because Brittany Renner has passed the 30-year-old threshold, a lot of people just expect her to not do the things that she's doing, especially what she did on that podcast show. So I feel like the ageism is a two-way street, because people kind of feel like her time was then, but I feel like possibly in her mind, she's aware that she's older and has to compete a little bit more harshly to stay relevant with her younger counterparts. And in no way is 31 old. I actually think that early 30s might be the best time of life. So I'm looking forward to the next few years for me to get there, because I feel like your mid-20s right now is kind of sucky, but we pray and we push on. But I think in a societal view, especially when you're appealing to what is trending on the internet, you're speaking about things that teens and people in their 20s are curating and promoting. And I feel like for women, ageism is really bad, because a lot of things dealing with women are based off of our looks. There was a comment that somebody left the other day, and it was really good. And they talked about how naturally us women are very competitive when it comes to what we look like. And of course, there are going to be some of you that say that you're not competitive, you don't care about wearing the wigs and the makeup and the nails, and you like a natural look, and that's fine. But overall, the beauty industry and what it means to be beautiful, desirable, sexy. All of that is something that when it comes to us women, we are super competitive about, whether we know it or not, especially if you're considered like a girly girl. I grew up doing girly girl things. My favorite color is pink. I was a cheerleader all through middle school and high school. I did modeling and fashion shows. I sold hair, I made wigs, I did makeup, all of that. So I just remember growing up and your looks always being something that girls maybe silently had competition over, because it then yields what type of guys you can attract. And if the athletes and the rappers and the actors are considered top tier, at least superficially, then women like Brittany Renner, who historically catch their eye, know that they're at the top of the chain. But I feel like the older you get, you realize that there is a turnover that happens, not because you can attract certain men. I'm pretty sure she has no issues attracting men, high earning men, other athletes, former athletes, whatever. But the same rave that she once had does dwindle a little bit just because she's getting older. Not because she's old, but because she's getting older. So I think that kind of plays a factor, because ageism in women when it comes to the beauty aspect of existing is definitely real. And I think Brittany essentially capitalized off of her virality really well, even if she did so in not a commendable way. So overall, my thoughts are that Brittany Renner is spiraling. She put on a show about turning over a new leaf and being accountable for her ways. And I think she's aging out of the attention that she once had, and it is affecting her. I think she's intelligent. I do appreciate a lot of her honesty, but I have to be critical of the fact that she seems to be honest with everybody but her own damn self. And that's very dangerous. I know we're in this era of if women talk about another woman's sexuality, y'all call it misogynistic, but I just want to caution everyone that turns a blind eye to reality of what Brittany Renner represents, is that you're going to be forced to kind of always be known for your sexuality. And if that's something that doesn't bother you, then so be it. But eventually people just expect a little bit more, or they don't even have any expectations for you at all, that they pay you no mind when you do crazy things like this. Obviously, Brittany Renner is a public figure, so we're going to talk about this mess, but I can tell that she's spiraling. I almost wanted to say that it seemed like she was on something, but that's a tough allegation, but it definitely gave that. And like I said, I've watched so many Where Are They Now types of shows, and I always noticed this pattern of women eventually turning over a new leaf when the same old gimmicks don't work for them. Brittany has petite, light-skinned biracial privilege, so she'll be able to stretch out her relevance even longer. And yes, I do have to say that. So we'll just see what comes of her in the near future. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go stream my new song called Let's Go. It is out on all platforms, and the video is also out on my channel. Link is in my description box. Make sure y'all go stream now, okay? Run it up. Let me know what y'all think. We got new music coming. Some of y'all be so hyped for the music. I appreciate y'all. We got something coming, okay? We got hard bars next, okay? No more soft songs. We gonna come with the bars. That's what y'all want to hear. I got you. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Extroverted, introvert, and honestly, that's really me. Went to school, I'm not a fool, it's never ever silly me. Stopped to join out with my Tim, she has to Philly me. Not saying I'm the GOAT, but I'm trying to be a Billy me. Oh, Molly Chioma, repping green, white, green. Emo state, chop life with me and my team. I'm the creme de la cream, gotta pay the top price. Big hype, nothing like one mic.